if you know anything about me or this channel, you might know that I really like Noelle.
Study, buddy. No, that won't be necessary.
Oh my god! His one and only counter, Omega Dragon Strike Noelle. What are you gonna do? Since launch, it's been my main goal in Genshin Impact to make my girl Noelle the strongest maid possible, even pulling for crazy stuff like R5 weapons, farming new sets, whatever it is, you name it. If there's a way to buff up Noelle, we're going after it. And with Furina coming out in 4.2, well, there's a lot of stuff that we need to talk about this character today. And if you're interested in any Furina stuff, well, check out all the stuff on the channel. I've been covering her because, well, cat's out of the bag. I'm going to be using her to play with Noelle. Now, if you're not too knowledgeable about Furina, the quick TLDR is Furina has an elemental skill that lasts for 30 seconds on a 20-second cooldown. Yes, that means you can have it up 100% of the time. That's going to slowly drain your entire party's HP and do off-field damage while applying Hydro. Also, on top of that, Furina has an elemental burst that you can have up 100% of the time, as it's an 18-second duration, 15-second cooldown that will give you these things called fanfare stacks that increases the damage everyone in your party does based on the amount of stacks you have. The max amount of stacks you can have is 300, and once you hit 300 fanfare stacks, you get 75% increased damage to everyone in your party. And the way you gain these stacks is either by losing HP or gaining HP, and this is accounting for every party member. So while Furina is going to be draining everyone's health to do more damage with her own elemental skill, our lovely maid Noelle simply has the ability to heal your entire party, well, with breastplate active, which if you're a Noelle main driver, you've been around the field, that's up 100% of the time, especially once you get to Constellation 6, as it's a 15-second cooldown, 25-second duration. But even at Constellation 0 for you guys, yes, you have a 15-second duration as well as a 15-second cooldown on Noelle's sweeping time. And in conjunction with Nice and Clean, you're going to be reducing the cooldown of her ability to heal your party with her skill Breastplate every time you do 4 normal attacks. And so with Furina and Noelle, you're going to have the basically infinite ability to gain as many fanfare stacks as quickly as possible. Furina's going to be draining your HP on everyone. Noelle's going to be healing everyone at the same time. You're going to max out these fanfare stacks almost immediately, all the while Furina is doing off-field damage. Think of something similar to a Yelan with her elemental burst up, or a Xingqiu with their elemental burst up, except Furina's just going to be able to do that with her elemental skill 100% of the time. So this is a main way that you can buff up your Noelle or Noelle gameplay style with Furina, but it's not the only thing that you can utilize to buff these characters up. There's gonna be a couple of things we want to touch on as far as artifact sets that you may be able to use with Furina on your Noelle that can help you utilize a very nice Noelle build, even if you don't feel like farming up something like Husk of Opulent Dreams. So if she's been on your maybe I'll level her, maybe I won't, but I really don't want to farm this setup, then do I have some news for you. And I need you to come here real quick because I'm not 100%, be very transparent. I'm not 100% certain that this is going to work yet. However, it should, and this is the other artifact set that you could utilize. This is going to be the Marchus Hunter set. Now, if you've read this set before, the 4-piece is when your current HP increases or decreases, your crit rate increases by 12% for 5 seconds. Furina can drain your HP, Noelle can heal that drained HP. This allows you to farm up a Marchus Hunter set and put it on your Noelle, and you're able to get the 15% normal and charge attack bonus damage, but also get 36% crit rate on your Noelle. Now, is this gonna be better than the Husk of Opulent Dream set? Honestly, I haven't crunched the numbers yet, but 15% damage bonus and 36% crit rate is actually pretty wild as far as boosting up your damage overall. You're gonna get something similar with the Geo set that I have on here, which gives us a grand total of 54% defense and 24% Geo damage increase. So we lose a little Geo damage increase and we lose a lot of defense percent, but we gain 36% crit chance. So something even on this build that I'm using the Redhorn Stone Thresher on for my own particular build, this would put me at over crit rate cap. I'd be at 106% crit chance. So what this build's going to allow you to do is hit a very nice crit rate to crit damage ratio, especially if you're using something like the Red Horn Stone Thresher, or if you've leveled up your battle pass and you've been buying the Serpent Spine, which gives you even more crit rate. You're going to be able to swap around the different builds that you're using and the different main stats for your artifacts. So let's take a couple of things into consideration here. If we're going to be using the Marchuse Hunter set, we're going to be able to get 36% crit rate. However, there's another thing we need to keep in mind here when we're talking about damage bonus and optimizing our damage. Remember, Furina's going to be able to give us 75% damage bonus. That's going to be using the same multiplier as geo damage increase or normal attack damage increase. So if you go in and you mathematically figure it out, it could be a possibility for you to be able to find a nice defense percent goblet instead of a geo damage goblet that has insane substat rolls, and use that goblet on your Noelle. This is going to make up for the defense percent that you're going to lose from changing over from Husk of Opulent Dreams to the Hunter set, and it's going to allow you to actually gain quite a big, substantial, I want to say, bonus here when looking at certain things, because, well, when you're looking at defense percent main stat artifacts that are 5 stars, you actually get 58.3% defense main stat increase. Whereas if you're comparing it to something like an HP or an attack percent, those only get 46.6. So you can lose that geo damage increase, gain of 58% defense, make up for the loss of the geo damage bonus cup from Furina's Elemental Burst herself, and then get a crit damage main stat circlet instead of a crit rate main stat circlet. As you can see, my circlet right now is crit rate main stat with 30% crit damage. However, if I went for something like a crit damage main stat that also had a pretty significant amount of crit rate as the substat, while this something right here isn't perfect to show you, it is something that you could think about. I could gain another 32 crit damage, and yeah, I would lose 20-ish, about 18% crit rate on my build here. So if I just did that swap, 18% crit rate down, but gain 30% crit damage, I'd be over 260 crit damage, and I'd still, with the Marchuse Hunter set bonus of 36% crit rate, still be around 90% crit rate, 260% crit damage. I would actually go up in defense because I'm using a defense goblet instead of a geo damage goblet, and I'm still gonna have more damage bonus with Furina in my party because of her 75% damage bonus from her Elemental Burst and Fanfare stacks than I am right now. This means that compared to my build that I have right now, I would have more defense, more damage bonus, more crit rate, and more crit damage all at the same time, compared to this, which I thought I was pretty much done doing, but I guess maybe not. And the coolest part of the Hunter set is, guess what domain it drops from, ladies and gentlemen? It drops from the same domain that Golden Troop drops from, which is the set that you're going to be using on your C0 through C5 Furinas. You're going to be able to get Golden Troop for Furina, and you're going to be able to get Marchuse Hunter for your Noelle. So it's also super efficient. That's why I said before, if you're waiting to maybe try Noelle for the first time, I've seen several comments across the comment section for a long time. I want to try her. I don't want to farm the gear for her. There you go. She shares possibly the same domain that the new Archon does. It doesn't get much better than that. Or I guess it could, because one of the other party members that I think I'm going to be using in this team as a possible one is going to be Fischl. And guess what? You can use the attack main stat, attack substat, Golden Troop stuff on your Fischl, the HP percent one on your Furina, and then while you're in there, you get Marchuse Hunter, and you can use the Marchuse Hunter set with the defense percent substats and all that glorious stuff on your Noelle. You're going to be able to farm up 3 of your characters for this party's artifact sets, all from the same domain. And yeah, they're using the same stuff, but they use different main stat rolls on these artifacts and different substats as well. So that's what I've been doing. I'm not ready to show it off yet. I have to get Furina first, okay? But there's a lot of cool stuff that you could potentially do in 4.2. If you're a Noelle fan, she might just be getting indirectly buffed once again for like the 78th time. If you're excited for it, let me know down below and hit that sub so you can see more Noelle action coming to you soon.